I'd never seen him before in my life. And we're like kind of the same age, and he's on a weekend, and I'm like, who the is this guy? Hey, we're going over to my dorm. You want to hang? And he's been letting me hang ever since. And I love the guy because he you know, Jews. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. That's my guy. He's been my guy. I've known this guy for 30 years.
Chris Rock's love for Adam Sandler is undeniable. During the recent Mark Twain Prize for American Humor ceremony, the legendary comedian Chris Rock went on a fiery tirade, calling out the Oscars for failing to recognize Sandler's special talents. Chris Rock, we know him as the most famous comedian of all time. The host of Oscars 2022 got smacked by Will Smith. Definitely not something Rock expected. Not only was he slapped, but he was also yelled at by Will Smith, ordering him to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. To be honest, that was pretty disrespectful, but then Rock using the incident as a weapon every time he makes a public appearance is also not very mature. So, out of many controversial moments and hitting several headlines, Rock is back to rock the news, but for something good this time. Yeah, don't be shocked. Something you should know. Rock turned down the opportunity to host the 2023 Oscars after being slapped by Will. Many people were expecting this to happen after all, since nobody could recover from the humiliation. The incident occurred after Rock joked about Jada Smith and her alopecia. Later, when a red carpet reporter asked if Chris Rock's recent jokes about Will Smith slapping him at the 2022 Academy Awards went too far, Adam Sandler defended him. Looks like Adam and Chris are exemplary friends of all time. Recently, Chris Rock paid tribute to Adam Sandler at the Kennedy Center this week, and it was a night of laughs. The comedian actor-director was honored with the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor, and Rock had some kind words to say about his friend. The friend who has been there in his thick and thins right by his side. The Mark Twain Prize for American Humor is an award presented to comedians who have significantly impacted American society. Sandler was honored with the award this year, joining previous recipients such as Dave Chappelle, Ellen DeGeneres, and Bill Murray. Rock, who has previously presented and hosted at the Academy Awards, badly criticized the awards body for its failure to honor the Sandman for his powerful performance in the 2019 film Uncut Gems, or any of his other notable works. Not just is it sad, but disappointing too. If you didn't know, Sandler has had a successful film career spanning several decades. He is not just anybody but the king of comedians. However, despite receiving critical acclaim for his dramatic roles in Uncut Gems, Punch Drunk Love, and the Meyerowitz stories, the comedian has never won or been nominated for an Oscar. Rock took the stage saying, "Before I begin, Paul Pelosi is the only guy who knows how I felt," Rock joked at the ceremony, which was taped on March 19th and aired on CNN Sunday. "It's just you and me, Paul. It's just you and me, babe." The joke was an indirect reference to Oscar's slap. Pelosi, the husband of former U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi, was attacked with a hammer during a home invasion last year. So you know how this makes sense. This is not the first time he has publicly joked about the famous Oscar slap, and God knows if he will ever stop. Rock even responded during his stand-up routine in the recently released Netflix special, Selective Outrage, and shared his thoughts on the incident. He stated that he is not a victim, baby. "You all know what happened to me when I got smacked by Shuge Smith," Rock explained. "It's still quite painful. Summertime is ringing in my ears. But I'm not a victim, you see. You'll never see me crying on Oprah or Gayle. I took it like Pacquiao." This is just one example of how he jokes about the slap, but coming back to the award ceremony, Rock said, "If you are not willing to give my man his props, we will tonight." He praised Adam Sandler, saying that he is one of the greatest people he knows, and we all are here to acknowledge that. He went on to tell everyone about Sandler's work in films like Happy Gilmore and The Waterboy, noting that they were both huge hits when they came out. He also recalled that Sandler was one of the first people to embrace him at a time when he was one of the few black comics in their shared social scene. How sweet! Rock was not the only celebrity to sing Sandler's praises during the ceremony. Pete Davidson, Jennifer Aniston, Drew Barrymore, David Spade, and other notable figures admired the comedian. Rock and Sandler's friendship dates back to their time on Saturday Night Live. The two have remained close over the years and have collaborated on several projects. In his speech honoring Sandler, Chris Rock reflected on their decades-long friendship and Sandler's support of him during the early days of his career. Sandler was among the first to embrace Rock in the comedy scene, and their friendship has endured ever since. Rock also shared some funny stories from their time together on set, including an anecdote about how Sandler once made him laugh so hard he almost peed himself while filming a scene for Grown-Ups. Despite the Oscars overlooking his talent, Sandler thrives in the entertainment industry. He recently starred in the Netflix film Hustle and is set to appear in the upcoming film Spaceman. Although he did not secure an Oscar nomination for his role in Uncut Gems, Sandler did win an Independent Spirit Award for Best Male Lead in the same year. Even though that's unfair since his role in Uncut Gems received rave reviews and was widely regarded as a career best performance. The Academy Awards have faced criticism recently for their lack of diversity and representation. Rock appeared to be referring to Sandler's lack of a nomination for his role in the 2019 film Uncut Gems as New York City jeweler Howard Ratner. He was also disappointed like we are. Sandler's performance was lauded. Some even called it the finest of his entire career, including The Post. According to box office figures, the film grossed more than $500 million domestically on a $19 million budget. Along with glowing reviews, it was named a top 10 film by the USA National Board of Review. Then how come he wasn't nominated? This breaks not only Sandler's heart, but also his fans. Sandler responded to the snub with a tweet at the time, writing, "Bad news, Sandman gets no love from the Academy. The good news is that Sandman no longer needs to wear suits. We feel you, buddy." He also mentioned his friend Kathy Bates, who was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in 2020 for her performance in Clint Eastwood's Richard Jewell. Sandler has always been there for his friends' support. He is amazing inside and out. Even when Chris Rock released his show Selective Outrage, which had a mixed reaction from the fans, Sandler said he thought about it all weekend after watching Rock's Netflix special, Selective Outrage. "I sat in my kitchen and laughed my ass off. I immediately watched it after that. It was one of the most memorable experiences," Sandler explained. "I thought it was incredible." We can indeed witness that he is not even close to being a hypocritical friend. In the lead-up to the famous 92nd Academy Awards, Sandler jokingly said that if he didn't receive the Best Actor nod for Uncut Gems, he would go out and make a movie that was bad on purpose just to make you all pay. He is a gem which is not recognized for his abilities. But despite all the jokes, Rock genuinely showed how much he loved his friend during his speech, saying, "That's my guy, and I just want you to know, I love you, man," he said, before ending his tribute with a hug. It was clear that these two have been friends for years, and it's nice to see them still showing each other support after all this time. So do you also believe that what happened with Adam Sandler is unfair?